Coming up next, the Pistons taking on the Pacers. For Detroit, the goal is to get better each and every time they take the floor, continuing to build their chemistry and connection, the unspoken bond that yields victory. Pacers, Pistons is next, right after this. It's time for the NBA, live on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Hall of Famer Doris Burke and Greg Anthony, giving us the rundown from the sideline courtside, David Aldridge. A moment now to see how the schedule is looking for the Indiana Pacers. On Wednesday, they'll face off against DeAndre Jordan and the Brooklyn Nets. Then on Friday, they'll take on Kevin Love and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Here's the starting group for the Indiana Pacers. Sabonis and Turner up front. Ogden and Oladipo, the backcourt duo. And it's Warren in at the 3. And for the Pistons, on the front line, the talented duo of Griffin and Drummond. Kennard is out there with Derrick Rose. And it's Mikhailuk in at the 3 spot. Conference rivals in this one, Doris. A regular season game that will likely have that postseason feel.
And we are the beneficiaries of what could be a playoff preview. You never know, obviously, how things are going to shake out in terms of seeding. What we know unequivocally are these two rivals are prepared to play in what we would consider not just any regular season game, perhaps a little more on the line than you might expect.
Oladipo misses. 3-on-3. Mikhailuk can't get it to go. Takes the 3, and that's good. Victor Oladipo for 3.
Well, this is one aspect you'd like to see more of from T.J. Warren. We know he's a great scorer, pretty dime there.
Passes it to Griffin. There's the triple. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time.
The real. Come at us, and we're coming right back at you.
And you would expect nothing less from these two, taking pride and making plays.
Now, here's Oladipo. His last outing, 16 points for him. Kennard with the rebound. Oladipo's gone 1 of 3 shooting so far. Here's Rose. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
You can see the athleticism and toughness. Rose becoming exponentially more dangerous the closer he gets to the rim.
Pass to Warren. No good that time. The Pistons go the other way with it. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, I spoke briefly with Nate McMillan. Well, there's no question this team can shoot the ball, and that's the philosophy he's instilled here. The long-range shooters they've got, he wants them to move the ball from one side of the floor to the other, and then take that first open look that's available. Kevin?
Thank you, David. You know, hard to create spacing without the threes.
Listen, he knows he should have made that shot. We'll see if they can work it back to him in that same area.
That one good for 2.
Boy, that's confidence right there. T.J. Warren understands when to pull up off the bounce.
Rose against Brogdon. Griffin looking around. And the bucket is good. 3-point play chance here for him.
It was all about his athleticism when Griffin first came into the league, but it didn't take long to see he was about a lot more than that. He's got serious skills down low.
And he's got his first chance at the line here. That's good from Blake Griffin.
With the Indiana Pacers, you know you're a small market team, and it's led to a little bit of a shuffle personnel-wise. What's incredible, they continue to put a competitive product on the floor year in and year out.
And just under 2.5 minutes elapsed here in the first. And here is Brogdon. He really had an off game against the Cavaliers. Never got into his rhythm. 6 on the shot clock. Sabonis kicks to Warren. Fires from 14. It's Drummond with the rebound. Doris, you're right. The Pacers have made the playoffs 8 of the last 9 seasons. Remarkable consistency.
I don't think there's any doubt about that, Kev. It starts at the top and sort of trickles down from ownership to the front office down to the head coach. This is a solid operation through and through.
Here's Brogdon following the bucket by the Pistons. Outside Warren. And Oladipo kicks to Brogdon. And we're approaching about 3.5 minutes played in the first quarter. And not going to go. He misses the first attempt on the night. Kennard, the pass to Rose. Griffin against Turner. There's the pass to Mikhailuk. Here's Drummond. No good there. So Indiana will take it the other way. Last time they met was in Indiana.
They played terrific defensively. The few cracks they showed, guys were quick to rotate and help each other out.
We talk about multiple efforts on the defensive end, and I thought, boy, that was good old-fashioned focus, team effort. What a win.
And very much a modern offensive game for Miles Turner. Doris, not a post-up guy per se.
No, he can shoot the face-up jump shot. He's exceptional at rim running. And think about his running form. This is a young man that tried to fine-tune his stride. He has become a factor now, Kev, going end to end.
Reggie Jackson's checked in for Derrick Rose. No good on the second free throw. Well, the one thing I love seeing in these early games, seeing the wrinkles that the Stars have added, the new technique or the new move they've added, Doris, during their games they played over the summer.
It feels, Kevin, like if you are not improving over the summer in the NBA, you are falling behind. Case in point, right, is the big men in the NBA. Look at guys like Brook Lopez and Marc Gasol, now able to stretch their game out to three-point territory. So important to keep growing.
Here's Turner following the basket by Blake Griffin. And the basket is good. Got it to go through on the contact, so a free throw coming up. A great opportunity for a three-point play. Greg, you talk about the quiet producers in the league. T.J. Warren is one of the first names that come to mind.
The last few seasons, Warren has come close to chipping in 20 points a game. Doesn't do anything flashy, but he just hits his shots and piles up the points on a nightly basis.
Free throw off from Warren.
Well, you think back to T.J. Warren and how good he has been for the last few years. And yet last season, he took a huge step forward by adding the three-pointer to his arsenal.
And it's Warren with the ball for the Pacers. Trailing by 2. Pass to Oladipo. He feeds it to Turner. The kick out to Oladipo. No luck that time in the shot that would have put them on top. The Pistons have gone 5 of 9 from the field here in the first. On the wing, Jackson. He's guarded by Brogdon. Right side, Jackson. And the layup's good off the glass. And the way Warren improved his three-point shooting last year, Doris, was incredible.
No doubt, Kevin. This is a guy who went from below 25% the year before from distance to making over 40% of his range shots. He did all this while coming close to tripling his three-point attempts. What an improvement.
Luke can't get it to go.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
Oladipo outside. Passes it to Sabonis. It's tipped. And here's Brogdon from the arc. Andre Drummond grabs the miss. Drummond's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Inside. Bobbed up there for Drummond. An emphatic alley-oop jam.
And when he gets himself into the right position, Drummond is so powerful in terms of finishing at the rim. The only way to prevent that alley-oop is to keep him from getting to the launching pad in the first place.
Here's Brogdon after the made shot from Andre Drummond. Oladipo outside. Good D by Drummond.
Not a lot falling for him in this quarter. He's got to stay aggressive, try to break through. See if you can get an easy opportunity.
Jackson misses. Pacers trail by 6.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Well, there is incredible natural strength and control of his body by Victor Oladipo. Nice job. Well, you think back to Victor Oladipo and his college basketball being played at Indiana University. So when he gets traded to the Pacers, many thought it was viewed as a homecoming.
Michael Beasley, he's checked in for Detroit. Brown comes in for Luke Kennard. So an entirely new group in now for Indiana. TJ Leaves checked in for Miles Turner. Doug McDermott comes in for Domantas Sabonis. Jeremy Lamb's checked in for Warren. And it's TJ McConnell in for Brogdon. And exceeding expectations in Indiana, Victor Oladipo, Doris, remade himself as an all-star.
Well, he credits the year he spent playing alongside Russell Westbrook. That relentless attack, that commitment to get better, that commitment to be a threat no matter where you are on the floor. This young man has set the tone between the lines and outside the lines.
Just doing the job on the backboard. Pretty early to be over the limit. That foul situation is something we want to keep an eye on.
The Pacers have made 2 and missed 2 at the line tonight.
In the season ago, they hit about 75% of their free throws.
Here's what Detroit's going with right now. Maker comes in for Drummond. And Markieff Morris subbed in for Blake Griffin. Aaron Holiday is checked in for Indiana. Now here's Jackson. 11 points for him in that last game against Philadelphia. Over Holiday. Jackson misses. Indiana trailing here. And a wide open look for Lamb. Indiana again missing.
And if that's the best look you can get on a possession, what a waste of a trip down the floor.
Well, missed opportunities, and they can certainly add up. You cannot afford to take that kind of shot.
And I just love the skill set that Markieff Morris has, Greg, at that forward position.
He really is a do-it-all type of forward for this team. Can step outside and shoot, but has no problem guarding anyone on the front line of the opposition.
First free throw is good. We've always been wowed by the athleticism in the NBA, but it seems to be becoming even more athletic. And certain guys get it done, Doris, in different ways.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of examples, Kev, of guys who don't have or are not blessed with incredible athleticism, but who have found a way to be successful. Nikola Jokic is a first-team NBA player who plays very much below the rim. And then you look at certain shooters who can affect the game. J.J. Redick. He is impossible to guard because he's one constant stream of movement. So, listen, if you have great skill for your position without athleticism, you can still find a way to have a job in this NBA. Outstanding pass, on time and on target.
For Indiana, they have shot 50% from the line today. 3 for 6. So it's the Pistons now, coming off that loss against Philadelphia.
I tell you, they were drawing a lot of iron from the perimeter. Couldn't get the threes to go down, and really the story of the game.
What was most disturbing to me, Greg, was they didn't have a backup plan, right? The threes aren't falling. What do you do next?
Here's Leaf. Holiday, no one around him. That doesn't go in. Had a chance, though, to take the lead. Jackson finds Brown. Now we'd like to take this moment to show you the teams that a year ago made a trademark of scoring points off turnovers. In third, the Pacers.
And this team, in terms of scoring off of turnovers, that became the identity. I mean, they really look to disrupt and cause problems defensively, and boy, do they take advantage on the other end.
He misses the free throw.
And back in his day as coach of the Blazers, players called Nate McMillan Sarge for his style. Very tough and demanding.
The beauty, though, Greg, to me is Nate McMillan has adapted. He has given more leeway for his players and his assistant coaches. He's willing to take players aside and bring a more personal approach. And I think in today's NBA, that's critical.
Here's McConnell. Following the basket by Markieff Morris. The shot by Turner, no good. Pistons leading by 3. Jackson passes to Morris. Kicks to Brown. Outside Jackson. Three-pointer. They get it back. Morris dishes to Maker, and it's blocked. Out of bounds. Pistons ball as Detroit keeps possession. Brown outside. And another shot. Fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a three-point play chance for him.
And this is something this guy takes pride in, capitalizing on second chance opportunities.
The Pistons shooting their 6th attempt at the charity stripe in the game. And that one misses.
And the missed free throws starting to be an issue. And historically, you almost never saw a great shot blocker who could also knock down triples at a high clip. But count Miles Turner among the unicorns who provide that rare combination.
Now here's Jackson following the miss by Miles Turner. And it's Brown missing. Here we go with Holiday running it up the court. And Michael Beasley picks up the foul. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. The Pacers have shot 4 of 7 as a team from the line tonight. Several misses early. And the stretch center in demand. For Miles Turner, Greg, how does he take that next step as a player?
Getting stronger. And continuing to improve his recognition and communication at both ends of the floor. And how about breaking out the Statue of Liberty on that dunk?
A nice way to pad that lead a little more. You're right. Here's Holiday. It's not going to go for him. Some solid defense from Brown. Jackson finds Beasley. That's good. And it's Jackson with the assist that time. And it's an 8-point Piston lead. Now Holiday, 8 points his last outing. Knocked away. Pass to McDermott. And the pass to Leaf. Yep, that one goes in there. Leaf's got 6. There's a minute 34 left here in the opening quarter. Pass to Beasley. Over McDermott. No good from Beasley. And so it's McConnell with it. He'll bring it up for the Indiana Pacers. 6-point game. Tough loss coming against Cleveland in their last game played.
Yeah, I mean, hard time shooting the rock in that one, but they also didn't give themselves the best looks.
I think, Greg, even when you get quality looks, there was an inability to stay consistent. It is hard to win on a cold shooting night in today's NBA. The scoring is just too good.
1:04 left in the first quarter. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Jackson.
In a moment here, let's check out the numbers for Jackson. Last season's performance for him averaged about 15 points a game, 4 assists and 2 rebounds. Well, fans of this team will take this kind of production from him without hesitation.
I'll tell you, he has been a solid contributor. They have called his number, and he has delivered for them.
2 on the clock. Holiday.
And they've done a nice job controlling the defensive backboard to start this game. And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
Beasley outside. Morris inside. Turner covering. Morris with the bucket. He's got 6.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling now.
Holiday against Brown. Here's Holiday. Shoots over Brown. And the last shot before the buzzer is off. And so it's Detroit in the driver's seat, up 8 points at the end of the quarter. Defensively, they have gotten after it, contesting every shot going up. And don't go away. We'll be right back. Andre Drummond says he's learned how to be a leader on this team.
Watching previous guys who've led this team and did the things that they did, I write that kind of stuff in the back of my head and just say, this is something I need to do this. Or if I see something I didn't like, this is something I probably will stay away from. And I think now that I'm in a role where I could kind of lead this team, I kind of have the blueprint on what I need to do to make this team successful.
And, Greg, with Blake Griffin, he's got somebody to take some of that leadership role alongside him.
And those two will be pivotal in deciding just how good this team can be.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter in this one. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from Detroit?
Well, when you control the glass, you control the second chance opportunities on both ends.
And that's how they controlled the first quarter. I thought they were the much more physical team.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. On the court right now for the Pacers. Leaf is out there with Turner. Then it's McDermott. And it's T.J. McConnell, and it's Holiday in at the shooting guard position. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Dwayne Casey was the 2018 Coach of the Year, but as we all know, he was fired after that same season by the Raptors. Casey's found a home in Detroit. Casey said, "I have no regrets." Winston Churchill said, "Success consists of going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. And that's what I've done." So, Kevin, Dwayne Casey is still pounding the rock.
He sure is, and I like that Churchill quote as well. Thanks, David. And the Pacers with possession here, following the bucket by the Pistons. But they recover it. Passes to McConnell. Outside Holiday. A 3-ball. Beasley with the rebound. Beasley's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one.
He's so frustrated. Hasn't had a make all game. It's making it very difficult for them to find any success.
If you were coaching, Doris, and you could run your offense through any center in the game, and let's take guys that are playing right now because we can go back in history and the names are endless, but who would you run your offense through at that position?
Probably a guy that the casual NBA fan is not as knowledgeable about as they should be, Kevin, and that's Nikola Jokic. This is a young, early 20-year-old who may be the best passer out of the post position that we've seen in a generation. Jokic is a guy who can handle the ball from three-point territory. He can take it off the window and initiate your offense. They run him like a point center, and it's appropriate because he's unselfish and gifted as a passer.
Gifted, great word to use, you're right. Looking at who's out there now for the Pistons. Andre Drummond's checked in for Maker, and Blake Griffin's subbed in for Michael Beasley. And Brown drops them both. Pacers trail by 14. Guys, they're looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Brogdon against Rose. Brogdon the pass to Turner. And it's Turner finishing it off.
How about that? Running the pick and roll to perfection. Evident that Miles Turner loves these situations.
To the paint, Turner with the steal. Here's Oladipo.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Boy, big-time athleticism from Victor Oladipo, up and off the ground in a hurry.
Here's Rose. Dishes it to Drummond. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. It's going to be on Miles Turner.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that, that's your only option.
Well, you look at the former All-Star Andre Drummond and the way he rebounds, Greg. He might be the best in the league in that department.
I mean, few players in the history of the league can go off for 20-plus rebounds on any given night. Drummond's one of them. Attacks the glass on the offensive end so well. His offensive rebounding, for me, sets him apart.
And he knocks down the first one.
No wasted trips at all. They're taking care of business at the line.
Kennard, he's checked in for Brown. In Indiana with a change here, too. Lamb, he's checked in for Turner. And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
Selected 9th overall in the 2012 draft, Drummond's carved out a nice NBA career for himself.
Now, here's Brogdon. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Warren, good. Here's Rose. 10-point lead. About 3 minutes played so far in the second quarter. Tipped away. Fast break. Here comes Indiana. The shot by Brogdon, no good.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
Pass to Griffin. Back to Rose. Shot's good. Griffin making the play. Griffin's got his third assist on the night.
Boy, what a warrior Derrick Rose is. This guy gets buckets through contact out there. So tough.
Now, here's Brogdon. Oladipo outside. For the three. Detroit with the rebound. Drummond's got 9 rebounds in the game. Getting it done.
Boy, he hasn't found the range yet here in the second period. Only 1 triple for him tonight.
Here's Griffin. He had a 30-point outing their last game against Philadelphia.
The other thing I thought was big, guys, was the incredible night he had on the glass. No one wanted any part of him down there.
What a find by Griffin. He's a lot more skilled as a passer than he gets credit for as far as power forwards go. He has terrific vision.
Now, here's Warren. He's coming off a 16-point game against Cleveland. And the Pacers can't get it to go. Detroit leading by 14. Morris dishes to Griffin. Got it for his 4th field goal of the game on just 5 shots.
Getting it done on both ends, and it shows up in the score.
Well, what I love, Greg, is the energy they're bringing right now. They're ignoring the scoreboard and playing hard.
So the Pacers call timeout, their first of the game.
And the lack of rim protection, top of the list.
And the question they're going to have to answer to me is it a problem with the scheme or is it a problem with matchups?
Detroit making a switch here. Mikhailuk is checked in.
And let's see the stat sheet here on Malcolm Brogdon. Last year, getting it done. First in free throw percentage. And you look at his 3-point field goal percentage. How about top 10 in the league? He did not miss often.
And as you said, the league's best free throw shooter last season. What a tremendous asset, especially in clutch situations. Just 2 to shoot. Here's Sabonis. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Well, Domantas Sabonis, the son of a legend, to me, guys, he has everything he needs to be an effective player for years to come in the NBA. Size, length, feel, there's a lot to like.
The Pacers have shot just above 55% of the line, going 5 of 9. Free throw good. Sabonis. Doris, you've accomplished so much in your award-winning career. What was your first experience in broadcasting?
Kevin, my first experience was I left coaching and they put Providence College women's basketball on radio. That was the first ever game I got to call. It was so cool. Tell me yours. What was the very first? Did you study this? How did you get into broadcasting?
I did. Our high school had a radio station, and the first basketball broadcast was underneath the bleachers, looking through popcorn boxes and legs of the people that were standing in the bleachers so that I could see the court from the baseline.
Amazing.
Because that's where the telephone cables were to plug in our equipment. And
wow.
I was 16 years old.
Incredible.
Remember it very well.
Incredible.
Very well. Warren, good, and it's Oladipo picking up the assist. 8 points for T.J. Warren.
Boy, this guy has been terrific. The rest of the team, however, struggling.
Rose surveying the D. Outside Griffin. The pass to Mikhailuk. Misses the 3. And it's Warren with the ball for Indiana, trailing by 13. It's Oladipo on the wing. He's covered by Rose. The shot by Brogdon wide open. That 3 off the mark.
And the well is running dry for him right now. Nothing falling.
And this is where you hope that he can find something easy so he can see the ball go through the net.
Here's Mikhailuk. Here's Griffin. Offensive rebound. And that one's good. Drummond. Drummond's got 4 points this quarter.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
Brogdon finds Warren, makes the bucket. Now he's got 5 field goals, 5 for 8 in the game.
Well, you like the effort of T.J. Warren, capitalizing when he's shooting in the painted area.
To the inside, Drummond up and in on the layup. Drummond's got 8 points.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
Oladipo outside. Back to Sabonis. And stolen by Drummond. And here we go. The Pistons fast break. Here's Kennard. And foul on the shot. So he'll get a chance at the line. It's going to go on Sabonis. And Kennard came into the league viewed mostly as a shooter, but he's been able to provide much more than that.
I mean, better than you think when he puts the ball on the floor. Learning how to lean into defenders and step back to open up the shot is a better playmaker than he gets credit for, and we should see him take on a larger role as he develops.
That free throw, no good. And he sinks the second. Pacers trail by 16. Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over.
Trying to snap them out of this little slump.
Just feels like the basket is looking awfully small to them right now. They're having a hard time getting anything to fall.
Jackson, he's checked in for the Pistons. No one had more success at the foul line last season than this group of players. Malcolm Brogdon, number 1.
And no doubt he finished the season right where he should have on that list. He was far and away the best free throw shooter in the league.
Brogdon with it. He's covered by Rose. Pass to Sabonis. Oladipo outside. Shot clock at 5. Stolen by Jackson. Here's Rose. He drains the quick shot. Rose has got his 3rd bucket of the night.
Well, we've seen this a time or two. Derrick Rose in the mid-range doing work.
Sabonis, no good.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today, and there is a glaring discrepancy between these two teams in that area.
And there's Derrick Rose on the assist from Jackson. And it's 8 points for Derrick Rose.
Well, a good first quarter leads to a dynamite second period.
Passes it to Warren. Will it go? Sabonis trying to get open. Griffin with some nice D. Pistons leading by 20. Pulls up on the elbow. Rebounded by Lamb. And Indiana shooting just 28%. They are offensively out of whack and out of step with each other at this point.
Not a single shot has gone down this period. It is the very definition of ice cold.
Just not there from a rhythm standpoint right now. It's really eluding him.
And the foul on Rose. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far.
And that's the tough part of trying to keep him on the floor. Now he picks up that 3rd foul.
Leaf checked in for Indiana. Now here's Brogdon. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet.
Oh, Kevin, not a petty, not a Manny, but a facial.
Oh, a bounce to the ounce, Greg? Yeah, showing off the bunnies. Here is Rose. It's an 18-point lead. Here's Jackson. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
And as long as Reggie Jackson is healthy, he's going to give you some punch as a lead guard. Solid scoring option and a guy who's also unselfish in terms of getting his teammates involved.
And that one falls for Jackson. And for the last half decade, Reggie Jackson has been good for about 15 points a game.
And that is about the consistency you can expect from Jackson. He's always been a talent. The key for him is just staying on the floor.
Catching up on the changes now for Indiana. Turner's checked in for Sabonis. McDermott comes in for Warren. And it's T.J. McConnell in for Malcolm Brogdon.
And Reggie Jackson, the former 24th pick by the Thunder, wasn't content to back up Westbrook. He basically forced his way out in search of a larger role.
Now here's Lamb. He's still scoreless so far in this one. Pass to Kennard. Here's Griffin. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. It's going to be on Doug McDermott.
A tenacious forward with high energy. It's clear that Griffin is still capable of throwing down a double-double.
And these are his 2nd and 3rd free throws tonight. That's good from Blake Griffin. And for Blake Griffin, always a great outside shooter for the power forward position, Greg, but he's added range the last few seasons.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Griffin go from a guy who might take 1-3 a game to someone putting up about 6 a night. The results have been there for him as he shoots a respectable rate from beyond.
He's perfect from the line this time.
And guys, one thing that has been interesting to see since Blake Griffin came to Detroit is how he's developed as a leader, has come into his own with how he takes responsibility for the team's play.
Now here is Holiday. Rebounded by the Pistons. Griffin's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Rose, that's good. Rose has got 8 points here in this quarter. And with Griffin, you look at his time on the Clippers, and for most of his career, he was more of a second in command.
Coach Casey said last year early on that Griffin is the leader of this team, and Blake took it upon himself to step up to the challenge. Makes sense no matter how you look at it. He's their best player and needs to be one of the leaders.
So for the Pistons, Akers checked in for Drummond. Beasley comes in for Luke Kennard. And it's Bruce Brown in for Derrick Rose. Here's McDermott. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Clock at 4. Jacks up a 3. Hits the three-point bomb.
And they may be leaning a little too heavily on the three-pointer when there are better looks to be had inside.
Outside Jackson. And there's the feed to Griffin. Outside Jackson. It's rebounded by Indiana. To the middle. Here's Holiday. And Akers sends it back. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, in Blake Griffin, the Pistons have their biggest star in years, probably going back to their championship team of 2004. A return to all-star form for Blake meant tremendous individual numbers last season. And the Pistons hadn't won a playoff game in more than a decade. Still not the result they want in 2019. The Pistons will be trying to capitalize during Blake's prime. Kevin, we'll see where this franchise goes from here.
We sure will, David, but he's a terrific player. Thank you so much. Now here's Jackson. He's covered by McConnell. Griffin attacking. Beasley trying to break free. Griffin can't get it to go in.
And not allowing the shooter even an inch of breathing room on that one.
Right. He stays connected, and great timing on the contest.
Now here's McConnell. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Outside Holiday. Rebounded by Maker.
I'll tell you, it feels all night like this guy's been forcing shots, rushing shots. He's really struggling on the offensive end.
Back to Griffin. And it's on a bounce to the Pistons as Detroit retains possession.
And he made the right read on that play, but just couldn't secure the steal.
Yeah, the anticipation was there. The hustle was there. Very close to picking that one.
Here's Morris. And so is Detroit with a 21-point lead to end the quarter. Their defense has been active and effective. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Derek, how's it feel to be back on the floor again?
It feels good, man, especially playing with my teammates. We have new teammates. We're just trying to come out here and just play hard and compete.
Good to see you back out here, Derek. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of quarter number 3.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson alongside Shaquille O'Neal and the Jet, Kenny Smith. Let's get to it. Some incredible work in this one by Blake Griffin. He had 12 points, 4 assists, and 6 rebounds. Kenny, what's your take on Detroit so far?
That was the half of the super sub for them. A lot of offense coming off the bench, and that's such a luxury to have that kind of firepower available. There were times when the pace picked up when the second unit came into the game. And that's the best part, having a bunch of guys who's ready at the drop of a hat.
Shaq, your take on Indiana.
They were brick city, and it was painful to watch. Weak shooting starts to get contagious, and they were struggling all over the place. They got to work on getting more high-quality chances, more layups, fewer prayers.
And that'll do it for us. The third quarter about to begin with Kevin Harlan standing by. We'll catch you on the flip side.
My brother.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. You look at Blake Griffin in this game, he's been everywhere.
Yeah, something that isn't his strength, but he's done a great job of finding the open man.
Well, what he did was sustain it throughout the first half. He ran the offense to absolute perfection.
And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. On the front line, the talented duo of Griffin and Drummond. Derrick Rose is out there with Kennard, and it's Luke in at the small forward position. They're the group for Dwayne Casey starting the second half. Here's Oladipo, and foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
And you hear it all the time about how they say reaching the top can be the easy part. It's the staying there that's the true challenge. And Victor Oladipo achieved stardom, but has to make his way back after his knee injury in early 2019.
Here's Kennard. Down low, stolen by Brogdon. To the paint, here's Oladipo, and it's sent back by Drummond.
A high motor keeps Drummond engaged defensively. He doesn't want to let any shots go in.
A wide open look here for Oladipo. Drains the three-pointer. Oladipo's got 5 points now this quarter. And Oladipo had already dealt with soreness in that right knee, and you talked about that, missing about a month earlier in the season.
And some suggested he came back too soon. Hindsight always 20/20, and players want to be out there to help win games. Sometimes teams have to protect them from themselves.
Here's Sabonis following the basket by Blake Griffin. Oladipo outside, back to Sabonis. Shot clock at 6. And it's Oladipo again missing. Here's Turner, and it's sent back by Drummond. Out of bounds, Detroit takes possession. And we're about a minute and a half here into the second half. Inside. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. Rose has got his 4th assist in this one.
Kevin, the vision by Rose, right? Hits the open man. He's creating for others, and this guy is so tough to deal with.
Now, here's Oladipo. 15 points in the game.
Coming off a big game, his confidence couldn't be higher, and coach knows it.
Well, the best players, to me, deliver night after night after night. So as long as he's hot, keep riding it.
Sabonis with the steal. Drummond working against Brogdon. And there's the bucket from Victor Oladipo.
This guy is putting his fingerprints all over the game in this quarter. He has flat out dominated the offensive end.
Griffin attacking. That's tipped.
Boy, T.J. Warren showing some activity on the defensive end. Great timing on that block.
They get the rebound. Sabonis, the pass to Oladipo. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And the foul called on the Detroit Pistons. And doors for the Pacers with Miles Turner and Domantas Sabonis. 2 talented young big men. Does that make it a log jam at that center position?
I don't think on the offensive end there's a problem. Both can space the floor with their shooting. Sabonis is an exceptional passer. I think the challenge is on the defensive end. And the reason being, both are exceptional defending close to the cup. Well, skill is such an important part of today's game, and that suits Domantas Sabonis just fine. This guy has great hands, can pass, and can shoot with range.
And there's the pass to Griffin. In the corner, Kennard with it. That drops. And it comes off an assist from Griffin. Griffin's got assist number 5 here tonight. And the son of Hall of Famer Arvydas Sabonis, Domantas was born to play this game.
I think that translates, and you see it most often in his IQ on the floor. This is a young man that thinks the game at an extraordinarily high level, and he is as fundamentally sound a guy as you'll find in the NBA.
Here's Griffin. Nice D from Sabonis.
Well, seized up just a little bit at the last second. That's when he normally converts.
And so it's Turner with it. He brings it up for the Indiana Pacers. 15-point game. And the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back. Third quarter of basketball here, and just a little under 3.5 minutes gone by. Rose attacking. The putback. The shot, no good. And it's the Pacers taking it the other way. And so Indiana again turning it over. Here's a look at what's coming up for the Detroit Pistons. They'll take on Marc Gasol and the Toronto Raptors. And then on Friday, they'll go up against the Bulls in Chicago.
And for their matchup with the Nets, it's the second game of a back-to-back, and you know they're going to be feeling the effects of it. Playing that much basketball in that short amount of time really takes a toll. How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Brogdon finds Oladipo. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. Andre Drummond picks one up.
Well, Victor Oladipo is unafraid in the face of contact. That's a nice move.
And boy, what a year it was for Derrick Rose. And the sea of fans hoping that he would get back to what he once was, as he was electric.
First one falls for him. And for Rose, so many had written him off, but he was a huge factor for the Timberwolves.
Rose still has a tremendous passion for the game, and it really shows on the court. His renaissance last season was one of the better stories in our league.
Jeremy Lamb's checked in for Brogdon.
And he's made more of an effort here to put pressure on the defense in the second half and create some contact and free throw opportunities. I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
Timeout called the Pacers.
Good timing. They're really struggling offensively.
Sometimes it just feels like misses become contagious. He wants to settle his guys down right now.
And here's the 2K leaderboard with the list of the league's top shot blockers from last season. Number 1, Myles Turner.
It happened so often. I'd say to myself, there's no way he can get to that shot, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, and it go down as another block.
Some nice passing here by Indiana, and it's slammed in by Turner.
Now that's called positioning, and Turner has the verticality to make it easy.
Pistons leading by 16. Rose passes to Drummond. Shoots over Turner, and it's sent back by Turner. And there's the call on Andre Drummond. That's his 5th foul.
Yeah, clearly struggling here with the foul. Still early, and just one more will put him over the limit.
Pacers trail by 16. Now, here's Oladipo. 22 points for him. Over Rose. And the Pacers tack on 2 more.
They are just killing them on the interior.
The Pistons have gone 5 of 12 from the field since the third quarter got underway. Griffin against Sabonis. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. Indiana's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Oladipo against Rose. Left side, Turner. Clock at 6. He's looking for Sabonis and finds him. Good D by Drummond.
Boy, surprised he missed that. The defense just good enough to prevent that bucket.
Here's Kennard, covered by Lamb. Outside Rose. In the corner, it's Griffin. Drummond trying to get himself free. No good from outside.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's going to buy himself a ticket to the bench. If he keeps shooting it like that, he has been putrid here this quarter.
Lamb finds Sabonis. Rebound, Andre Drummond. Drummond's got his 16th rebound on the night. Oladipo against Rose. To the left side wing. Pass to Drummond. To the left wing. Here's Mikhailuk. Misses, and the dry spell continues. And here's Oladipo. He'll bring it up for the Pacers. They trail by 14. Here's Lamb, and it's sent back by Drummond.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Mikhailuk passes to Rose. Double team on Rose. Here's Kennard. Defended by Sabonis. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. And the first one at the line is good, so both teams changing it up here. And so he makes both from the line. Pacers trail by 16. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Jackson kicks to Morris. Jackson looking it over. It's Beasley on the wing. Shoots over McDermott. Second shot opportunity. Morris lays it up off the glass. Morris has got 8 points.
Now that's the passion you like to see from Markieff Morris, converting off the board.
Now, here's McConnell, guarded by Jackson. Outside, Lamb. Rebounded by the Pistons. The biggest lead of the game was 24 points. Here's Jackson. Makes it off the glass. He's got 10.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
And that's typical of this guy. He's always reading the situation, reacting quickly, and capitalizing.
Shot's good by Leaf.
That's a defensive breakdown. You can't let him get that deep.
One of your keys defensively is do your work early and push him out of his comfort zone.
Good. Beasley's got his second basket of the night.
And you want more of this from Jackson. The more unselfish he is, the better the team.
McConnell with it. Jackson on him. That's good from McDermott on the assist by McConnell.
Well, defensively, to me, you've got to do a better job communicating once the screen comes.
Pass to Beasley. Over Lamb. Again, the Pistons good for 2. Pacers trail by 20. Holiday, the pass to Leaf. Outside Holiday. Tries from 16. Morris with the rebound. Morris has got his 5th rebound in this one. Jackson against Lamb. And he's going up for the alley-oop.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
Indiana's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. McConnell scanning the floor. Pass to Lamb. Six to shoot. The shot, no good. The Pistons go the other way with it.
With him scoreless in the latter part of this one, it's awfully hard to come back.
Jackson finds Morris. And here we go. Holiday heading to the hoop. Good. And McConnell gets the assist. McConnell's got 3 assists in the game.
Quick job of getting up the floor and creating early offense.
You don't give the defense any chance to set up. Sometimes you just love an easy look.
Now here's Jackson. He's got 10. The Pistons need to get off a shot here. Maker misses.
Boy, that's too easy to miss, but somehow he finds a way to do it.
Here's Lamb. Tries again, and that's good. A nice job in the glass as they pick up 2 on the second effort.
And the D getting outworked there on the putback. Can't let that happen.
Greg, you have got to put a body on somebody. We talk about it ad nauseum, but you've got to be disciplined with the box outs.
Nice move. He stepped back and cast it up. That's 12 points for Reggie Jackson.
And nice job taking what the defenders gave him. These guys need a gut check right now.
Well, simply stated, simply not enough effort, not enough attention to detail. They've gotten run over this evening.
Timeout called the Pacers.
Trying to snap them out of this little slump.
Just feels like the basket is looking awfully small to them right now. They're having a hard time getting anything to fall.
And Indiana making a change here. Ogden's checked in.
Let's take a quick look now at some stats for Lamb. He had a strong showing last season. He put up about 15 points a game last season, 5 rebounds and 2 assists. He's been nothing short of fantastic during that stretch. Offense coming very easily for him.
And so much of it to me is his ability to read the floor, make the right decision, and then go right after the action he wants.
Now here's Brogdon. No points in the game yet for him. Fires from deep. Beasley with the rebound.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A +10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
Morris dishes to Jackson. Feeds it to Maker, and the dunk by Maker.
Okay, 2 hands for safety. That's what they say, right?
That's right. He was ultra safe with that dunk, no question. Brogdon outside. From deep 3-point range, and that shot was up in time but doesn't go in. And so it's the Detroit Pistons cruising into the quarter break with a 22-point lead. From the field, they have been outstanding, amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. We'll get right back to the action when we return. And let's take this opportunity now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And definitely deserving of the prize tonight. How about the read he made here? Looking like a point guard, putting the pass right on the money.
Now, Greg, he's got the size to survey over the top of the defense and find the open man. That was beautiful.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. And a look at the 5 for the Pacers to start the fourth quarter. They've got T.J. McConnell. McDermott is out there with Miles Turner. Then it's Jeremy Lamb. And it's Brogdon in at the 1 spot.
Well, McDermott is working on that interior game because he has size and touch.
Jackson kicks to Drummond. The rebound by Turner. Turner's got rebound number 10 tonight with that last one. To the inside, and it's slammed in by Turner.
And guys, he's not an easy man to stop when he's got the rim in his sights.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher. Now here's Jackson. Beasley outside. Morris passes to Drummond. Out to Morris. The Pistons working the ball around now. And that one is good by Beasley.
Amazing when he's inspired. Morris shows some sneaky good passing skills.
And Brogdon has got the ball here for Indiana. Now the pass to Lamb. And the 3 off target.
That's not his spot, but given the lack of defense, you'd like to see him knock that one down.
Morris finds Jackson. And Beasley gets it to go on the assist by Jackson. Jackson's got assist number 8 here in this one already. Just about 1.5 minutes gone by here in the fourth. And stolen by Drummond. And now the Pistons fast break. Luke can't get it to go.
And thus far, they've managed to overcome an off game from him offensively.
And that's a foul. It's called on Reggie Jackson. That is his first foul of the game. Derrick Rose is checked in for Markieff Morris. Then for the Pacers, Sabonis, he's checked in for Doug McDermott. T.J. Warren comes in for Lamb, and it's Victor Oladipo in for T.J. McConnell. Now here's Brogdon. Here's Sabonis, and a great assist by Brogdon as that one goes in. Brogdon's got assist number 9 now. Wow, what an effort here tonight. Oladipo against Rose. Rose double teamed. Here's Mikhailuk. Drummond. It's rebounded by Indiana. Sabonis has got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active. Pacers trail by 20. And Oladipo kicks to Sabonis. Doris, we know historically the Celtics, the only franchise to ever have a four-peat, 4 straight championships. Do you think at some point we're going to see another?
I'm not sure there can be in today's NBA, Kevin, and there are a number of different contributing factors. Number one, the salary cap implications that happen. Number two, look at the Golden State Warriors, who were well positioned for a three-peat. And yet, as you know, luck plays a small part in an NBA championship. Luck relative to injuries. You see Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant both get lost in the midst of an NBA Finals. This is it's challenging enough to go back-to-back. Forget about four-peat.
And the Pistons making a change here. Griffin's checked in. Outside Warren. Pass to Sabonis. And the shot goes in.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Jackson down low. He's guarded by Brogdon. That one goes. Count it. Pacers trail by 20. Passes it to Turner. Now here's Oladipo. Back to Turner. It's Oladipo on the wing. Guarded by Jackson. Pistons leading by 20. And it's Rose penetrating. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Jackson's got his 9th assist in the game now.
And that is one of Derrick Rose's signature moves. May not be as fast as he once was, but boy, that explosive first step remains.
Now, here's Warren. Off target with the free throw line, Jay.
Well, defenses are content to give up the mid-range, right? It's not the high percentage restricted area or the three. You can see they're prepared to give up that shot.
Doris, in basketball, like many sports, you can call some kind of penalty on almost every play. So with that in mind, where do we draw that line?
I would say that most coaches and most players would say as long as there's consistency with officiating, they can adapt to the way the game is being called. As fans, as broadcasters, what we want to see the game remain free-flowing, fluid, pretty, the ability to move and cut and not be impeded in your progress. That's what I want to see.
And we see that most nights.
No doubt.
Remember the time, Doris, when it was rare to see stars changing teams? Now we read about it every day.
No question, Kevin. Think back to my formative years watching the NBA as a fan. Larry Bird was a Boston Celtic. Magic Johnson was a Los Angeles Laker. The trend in today's NBA is that shorter player contracts, more player control over where they want to be. And the reality is this, Kevin, at some point, free agency entered the equation. It's appropriate, it's fair, they've earned the right to choose where they play.
And a player who flew under the radar last year, Malcolm Brogdon. Pacers wanted to add him over the summer. Got a hefty deal from Indiana to leave the Bucks. Exactly the kind of player that the Pacers need.
The first one falls. Well, guys, Brogdon not a player that turns heads, but man, is he an efficient threat on the floor.
And he's been a great three-point shooter really since his rookie year. His field goal percentage continues to climb and has evolved into one of the best free throw shooters in the game.
Now here's Rose. Pass to Griffin. We're seeing some great shooters with length, tall players shooting from outside. That seems to be the rage right now, but when you look in your crystal ball, Doris, what might be the next player trend in the NBA?
So we saw the evolution of big men as three-point shooters, men being able to enter the league as sort of back to the basket, consistent rebounding forces out of the post, now stepping away and becoming threats as face-up scorers. To me, one of the most intriguing young players in the league right now is Nikola Jokic. Here's a 7-foot guy who is a tremendous playmaker. His instinct is to pass more than it is to score. So you wonder, is that the next evolution of big men? And then the other thing, Kevin, you are starting to see offensive rebounding went away as a focal point of teams in the NBA. You are starting to see teams go back after the offensive glass. Does that continue?
Second chance is a big statistic, isn't it?
It is.
And so it's Rose who brings the ball up for the Pistons. Outside Jackson. And they double up Jackson. Griffin. And the slam by Blake Griffin.
An unreal performance by Griffin. Locked in. They just have not come up with a scheme to contain him.
Pacers trail by 20. Stolen by Jackson. The kick out to Rose. Lets it fly from 18. And the bank shot is good.
Well, the rise and fire. Now money in the bank for Derrick Rose. What beautiful development of the jump shot.
And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Jackson. Detroit making a switch here. Kennard's checked in. Brogdon against Jackson. Oladipo outside. Just 5 to shoot. Pulls up on the wing. The shot will not fall. And Detroit the other way now. Here's Griffin. And the slam by Blake Griffin.
And that's the trademark Griffin finish. Get in tight, elevate, and throw it down with authority. Big fella is a beast down low.
Brogdon against Jackson. The pass to Oladipo. First, do you have high hopes for the new draft lottery system to keep every team competitive to the very end of the season?
Well, one of the keys in implementing this new draft lottery system was to make sure that the bottom 3 teams were given equal opportunity to get that top draft choice. I think you did see it have some effect on play and teams trying to be competitive while understanding they're still going to have an opportunity to build their team through the draft. But here's the reality. The NBA has got to be under review constantly. There's a process in play. It's one of the most proactive leagues in the country in terms of always looking for little things to make sure their game is the best it can be.
Attention to detail. Well said. And he makes the first. So Detroit going with an almost entire new group here. Thon Maker's checked in for Andre Drummond. Doumbouya comes in for Blake Griffin. Tony Snell's checked in for Luke Kennard. And Langston Galloway subbed in for Jackson. Off on that one, so he goes 1 for 2 at the line.
And after attempting no free throws in the first half, now he's putting the defense back on its heels.
It's stolen by Maker. Here's Mikhailuk. That's good, and so Galloway with the assist.
Yeah, great look there. Credit Galloway with the vision to spot the open man.
Has to be Bitadze. Over Maker. Bitadze with the bucket.
And likes the view from there. He's a strong mid-range shooter.
Well, sometimes when you've got size, your release point is so high that you're going to get a good look no matter what.
Here's Galloway. Back to Snell. Here's Mikhailuk. 4 on the shot clock. Here's Doumbouya. It's blocked. Holiday with it. Picked his pocket. And pushing it up is Detroit. The Pistons again in transition.
You know, that's where you can really appreciate the wingspan of Galloway. Creating havoc that time, and then the result pretty much inevitable.
And here's Holiday. Some of these players are making more money on endorsement deals than on their NBA contracts. I mean, I just shake my head at that, don't you?
It's an amazing time in which we live, because the power of social media and the understanding of today's athlete that their brand is significant and that their brand extends outside of the lines of competition. You see so many men who have overseas opportunities, whether you're talking Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Donovan Mitchell. They understand the power of the face and the talents they bring to the table. Truly, truly remarkable young men.
Remarkable indeed. Here's Galloway. Passes it to Snell. Nice ball movement by Detroit. A nice shot by Mikhailuk.
Good job attacking. Those restricted area shots are what every NBA team is looking for.
Here's Holiday, and he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. The first free throw is good. Beasley's checked in for the Pistons. Both free throws good from Holiday. Doris, when you look at the success of international players, and the league has a litany of very good international players, Doncic being the latest success story, is the perception changing about these kids when they come from overseas and play in the NBA?
Well, one of the greatest, and to me, the greatest international player of all time, Dirk Nowitzki, a Hall of Fame player, probably changed the perception to start with. Now, listen, over the years, Luka is going to have perhaps a Hall of Fame career if he stays healthy. The reality is this: the NBA is looking for the best players to man those 15 roster spots of the 30 NBA teams. It doesn't matter where you're from, what the color of your skin is. If you can play the game of basketball and play it at the highest level, the NBA wants you to be a part of their league.
Here's Galloway following the score by Indiana. To the wing right side. Snell, the pass to Maker. The three-pointer, no good. And for the Pacers, they're shooting it well here in the fourth quarter at 50%. To the middle, here's Sampson, and that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. No good on the free throw. T.J. Warren, he's checked in for T.J. Leaf. Good on the second free throw.
Listen, it's only 1 miss, but it hurts all the same as they try to cut into this lead.
Detroit leading by 22.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Pistons.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And they're able to even the score of this series at a game apiece. Still 2 more to go in the season series.
And guys, one of the steady and outstanding players putting in another impressive performance. It was a big-time outing for Andre Drummond.
Boy, his defense is what stood out to me. There was a no-fly zone around this guy all night. He contested every shot in his area and sent a few back.
And Detroit has possession. Following the score by Indiana. The high post shot. Galloway, no good. Here's Indiana. They're on a 13-4 run. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. And Holiday kicks to Warren. From down in the low post, it goes.
Well, this is what they needed earlier on. At some point, it's too little, too late.
Yeah, but then again, this run came against a team that may have felt it had already won, and you get the sense it let its guard down.
Beasley left side. And so Detroit takes this one by a big margin. It was a tale of two teams tonight, one that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
I mean, the energy here is just so tremendous. Fans involved from the get-go, and once they started to really pour it on, it was fun to see that rhythm and flow from their perspective.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. Blake, very strong game offensively. What gave you the confidence to take over?
Just putting in the work, and my teammates honestly believing in me and telling me to be confident at the end of the game. So I owe a lot to them. They came up with big plays. Just everybody working together.
Very good win for you tonight, Blake. Congrats. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. So long and good night, everyone.